At least 15 people are dead after a mass shooting, including 14 children and one teacher. A gunman opening fire on campus earlier today. Again, you are taking a live look there. You can see a stretcher being rolled out. The governor also saying he does believe the gunman is dead. All right, this is a live look from the air now. You can see authorities on the scene. Very active scene there. Again, a stretcher being rolled out from Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. Now, we are waiting for an update from law enforcement. Of course, we'll bring that to you live as soon as it happens. But we do want to let you listen in to what Governor Abbott had to say just a short time ago.
The shooter was Salvador Romas, an 18-year-old male who resided in Uvalde. It's believed that he abandoned his vehicle and entered into the Robb Elementary School in Uvalde with a handgun, and he may have also had a rifle, but that is not yet confirmed according to my most recent report. He shot and killed horrifically, incomprehensibly, 14 students and killed a teacher. Mr. Romas, the shooter, he himself is deceased and is believed that responding officers killed him.
All right, we just heard from Governor Abbott there, who addressed the media just a short time ago. Again, hearing that it was a teenage shooter. We know 14 children dead, one teacher deceased as well. Let's get right to NewsNation correspondent Kelly Beeson, who is joining us live here in the newsroom. Kelly, what else do we know so far?
Well, Nicole, earlier the school district had said that all schools in the district were locked down because of gunshots in the area, adding that the city's civic center was being used as a reunification area for families there. Robb Elementary School in Uvalde has an enrollment of just under 600 students. It's a 2nd through 4th grade school, and according to their calendar on the school's website, there was only 2 days of school left until dismissal for the summer. Again, according to Texas Governor Greg Abbott, Salvador Romas, the 18-year-old male who resided in Uvalde, it's believed that he abandoned his vehicle with a handgun, possibly a rifle, shot and killed 14 students and a teacher. He is deceased, the suspect, and it's believed that responding officers killed him. Governor Abbott also noting that Ramos killed his grandmother before entering the school and is a former student of Uvalde High School. Nicole.
All right, Kelly Beeson live for us here in the newsroom. Thank you for that. All right, we want to head out to independent journalist Allie Bradley. Allie Bradley is live for us on the scene, on the ground out there. Allie, I don't know how long you have been there. Kind of describe what you're seeing now and describe what you've seen since you've been there.
So I got on the scene shortly after it started happening, and they actually had us pretty close before they started pushing media out to the perimeter a little bit. And when I first arrived on, it was very active, and there started to be actually other calls around the area for responses. So the police started to deploy really.
All right, Allie Bradley's service is a bit spotty out there, understandably. Lots of people on the scene out there, reporters, and obviously a huge law enforcement presence. We will try to check back in with Allie Bradley as soon as we can. All right, we want to bring in now former FBI Special Agent Phil Andrew to talk to us about this. And Phil, you know, yet again, we are talking about a mass shooting, extremely tragic situation here. We know 14 children dead, one teacher dead. Tell us, from what we know so far, what is your assessment?
Fortunately, this is an easy one to assess. We've got a teenager with a gun, shot his grandmother before he went there. We're going to see some kind of emotional connection to this site. He was a prior student. Maybe he knows somebody. Maybe there's an additional family or some kind of emotional connection with the elementary school, and it has tragic consequences. In all likelihood, there were warning signs. Someone in the community knew. We see that in almost 2/3 of the cases where schools are attacked. What's unusual about this one is it's in an elementary school. Not a lot of attacks on elementary school. We can think of Hubbard Woods in Winnetka, Illinois, and Sandy Hook are two of the most notable examples there, where 6 and then over 20 people were shot at those sites. So they really have tragic consequence when younger and younger people are targeted by folks that we should have had good opportunities for intervention long before this is happening.
You know, and Phil, you mentioned other mass shootings in the past. Obviously, you know, we want to focus on this one. But, you know, just a little over a week ago, we had yet another mass shooting with also a teenage gunman. You're mentioning there's this emotional connection. You know, one thing I think about is elementary schools in general at this point tend to be locked down almost immediately. You know, once school starts, schools are locked down. So, you know, I'm kind of wondering, obviously, what happened here. I know we're all asking questions. We're still, of course, waiting for more information. But that's something that we're seeing, which has been a direct result of all of these mass shootings. Schools tend to be locked down. People cannot just gain access.
But I suspect that this was at some transitional moment for the school, that very difficult to penetrate a school at this point for most of the country. But at transitional times like recess, end of school release, a field trip, gym class outside, those are times that the student body can be vulnerable, and it's more and more difficult to protect against somebody who has their mind set on causing mayhem.
You are absolutely right, Phil, and mayhem is exactly what was created in this situation. Phil, stick around. We're going to actually bring back independent journalist Allie Bradley, who was live on the scene, to join us in this discussion. So, you know, Allie, tell us again what you've seen so far since you've been there. I know you said you arrived shortly after this happened.
Yes, you're exactly right. As soon as I arrived on scene, we were actually very, very close to where the school shooting took place. Obviously, I think you guys have some images of the vehicle as well. So what I can tell you here is that this 18-year-old was actually a murder suspect, and there was a bolo out for his vehicle, which is why the pursuit started in the first place. It ended here near the elementary school, and then they actually ended up running into the elementary school. And when police officers and Border Patrol and other agencies arrived on scene, they found loaded magazines, AR-style magazines, on scene outside of the elementary school. They also found loaded ammunition and guns inside of the vehicle as well. As you mentioned, he killed at least 15 people. He himself is dead. He shot his grandmother as well. Now, I can tell you I just got confirmation from a very credible source saying that a BORTAC agent, which is the SWAT arm, basically, of Border Patrol, is the person who was able to take down that shooter and ultimately end his life and end that shooting spree as well.
All right, so this was not, the shooter then did not take his own life, from what we're learning. Allie, can you tell us what time did this all start? Because as you said, the suspected gunman was the subject of a bolo, be on the lookout.
Mm-hmm. So again, he was a murder suspect that they were looking for. So when this pursuit began, what time is it now, 4 o'clock? This was about 4 hours ago. Let me look at my information here to give you an exact time. So at 11:40 this morning is when they actually got the active shooter via communication. And I'm looking at a breakdown of their timeline right now that I got from, again, a very credible source here on the ground. And they deployed several units within moments between with U.S. Border Patrol, Texas DPS, which is the Department of Public Safety. DPS's SWAT team was also dispatched, and so was the air team as well through DPS. So multiple agencies arrived here. They were dispatched within 5 minutes of the first communication that this was going on. About 12:11, there were more medics requested, and that's when they were doing the rounds around the school and found multiple AR-style fully loaded magazines near the building. Students were evacuated. They were taken to the Civic Center. Now, I can tell you one of my sources, who's a Border Patrol agent, has a student that goes to the school, a third grader, and we didn't know if he was safe for hours. It was a really, really scary scene for the mother. Hopefully she is, okay. She's very shaken up right now, but she's waiting for her other student to be released from school because all of the surrounding schools were also on lockdown.
Now, Allie, do we have the students at Robb Elementary specifically? I know you said it has an enrollment of about 1,600. Have those students been reunited with their families at this point?
From what I understand, most of them at this juncture have. Again, they were removed from this school and taken to the Civic Center. Some of them, like I said, they were, my agent was able to be reunited with their son. So for the most part, I think these families have since been reunited, but I don't have full confirmation that every single family member knows the location of their child right now.
All right, Allie, stick around for us. I want to bring Phil back. Phil, from what we've just learned from Allie here, saying that this happened at approximately 11:40 a.m. local time, that would be Central, so right before noon. You mentioned that, sometimes shooters can gain access during those transition periods. If we're thinking right around noon, that could be lunch, that could be recess. That does seem to fall in line with exactly what you said.
Indeed. And it sounds like the law enforcement response, again, in these situations, every agency responds. And in this case, it was Federal Border Patrol that we're getting at least preliminary information that that's who engaged this assailant and took him down.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that. I want to talk about some of the law enforcement on the scene. Who will now take over this investigation in your best estimation? Obviously, this is continuing to evolve, and we're waiting for confirmation and updates from law enforcement. But who would take over in a situation like this?
Right now, this is going to be supported by multiple agencies that have responded. Certainly the FBI, the ATF will be there, but local and county law enforcement, this will fall under their jurisdiction unless there's some indication of a nexus to domestic terrorism or international terrorism. But the preliminary information is clear that this is a local suspect that law enforcement was in pursuit of and knew of his dangerousness. And so there was already Ebola out. And whether he was targeting this school and, had made a beeline for that school, or this just became a target of opportunity as he was trying to escape, we don't know yet.
Right, still waiting to find out that information. Again, authorities identifying the shooter as 18-year-old Salvador Ramos, who is deceased. Authorities saying that he shot his grandmother shortly before this incident at Robb Elementary. He was then the focus of a bolo, a be on the lookout. And as our independent journalist Allie Bradley has said, he then fled to the scene here at the school. So, Allie, I know you've been on the scene at this point. This occurred shortly before noon. You've been on the scene now for about 4 hours. Can you kind of describe the chaos when you first arrived on scene for us, Allie?
So it was very, very chaotic. And like I said, I mean, they were deploying to another scene. And so at the scene when I first arrived, I showed up. There were DPS troopers that had blood on their uniforms, that were visibly, trying to figure out exactly what the next move was. They were all communicating. The PIO wasn't available. But I will tell you right now, I would like to bring in actually a gentleman that's standing right here that's actually working on the home right next door. He heard everything. He saw a lot of the situation happen. Can you kind of just describe what you saw happen here, sir?
Yeah, so he crashed into the ditch, and two guys from the funeral home went out there to check on him, and he fired at them. He fired shots.
So he fired shots outside before he even went into the elementary school.
Correct.
Did you see him go into the elementary school?
Yeah, I seen him jump the fence right here. He jumped the fence. He had a backpack and he had a rifle, and he jumped the fence and he went to that corner up there, to the back corner on the right, and I believe he shot in there into that window back there, and that's when the cops pulled up over here, and then there was one UCISD police that went all the way in there, and I think that's what caused him to come back this way.
Okay. So he was kind of drawn out by officers a little bit.
By the UCISD police, right?
Okay.
The officers were over here on the street.
Okay. Now, what was your instinct when all of this was happening? I mean, you obviously live in this community. You said this is crazy. You've never seen anything like this happen in Uvalde. So what was your thought when this was going on?
When it first happened, when the shots fired right here in the ditch, I thought maybe the guys were running away because maybe it was going to explode. I didn't know they were with a firearm shot.
Now that you know that at least 15 people have been killed, a teacher and 14 students, and the gunmen as well are dead, where's your head at right now?
crazy. You know, you hear about it on national news, and this is national news, and it's crazy. This is the biggest thing that I can remember here in Uvalde.
Can you provide as much as your name that you're comfortable sharing right now, sir? Juan, and you're working on a construction project right here at a house, right adjacent to the school.
Right.
And have you had any police talk to you? Has anybody asked you what you saw? Have you been talked with?
The sheriff came by and he said, you know, just to stay away from the area. He said someone's face got shot at, and I've heard other people say that. Do you know anything about it? Maybe he shot his grandma?
So his grandmother was also shot, yes. Right before he came here.
Right, yeah, that's what I heard too.
Okay, Juan, well, I'm going to let you get back to work.
Right.
I appreciate your time. So Juan witnessed basically the bailout when he stopped the vehicle and ran through into the school grounds, as you just heard.
Allie, I don't know if Juan is still there, but can you ask him? I know he said that two people tried to approach the suspect after he had crashed his black pickup truck. Can you ask Juan, did the suspect appear to be focused on the school? Did he appear to be randomly running, just kind of fleeing the scene? What was his impression?
Did the suspect look like he was going for the school, or that he was?
You know, that's what I was thinking about earlier. What I thought when I heard he shot his grandma, I thought he was fleeing from the scene over here. I thought if he wouldn't have crashed, I don't think he would have gone to the
So you don't think that his agenda and his mission was the school? Hello, sir.
I don't believe if he would have crashed, I don't believe he would have gone towards the school. I think he went towards the school because he crashed.
And he crashed about a football field away from the entrance of the school.
Right. And I think maybe, I don't know, you know,
any questions,
a killer's mind.
Provide a statement.
Okay, there is now a press conference happening. Let's listen in.
Thank you, Juan. Okay. So, hi, sir. I'm Allie Bradley. I've been actually covering the border for. Okay, I've been covering the border.
Make a statement, and at this point, we won't take any questions. The time we'll be addressing the media soon. At approximately 11:32 a.m. this morning, there was a mass casualty incident at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. This school has children that are in second, third, and fourth grade. I can confirm right now that we have several injuries, adults and students, and we do have some deaths. The suspect is deceased at this point. DPS is assisting with the investigation. And at this point, the investigation is leading to tell us that the suspect did act alone during this heinous crime. Families are being notified, and we are providing services to them as the district should. As far as the rest of the district is concerned, safety measures were taken to make sure that we had a safe release for the rest of the district throughout our city of Uvalde. And we had numerous law enforcement officers and agencies that assisted with the safety release for those students. We do want to keep all our families in their prayers. I hope you do as well. And we also want to respect the privacy of the family. The crime scene is still being worked on. And again, we'll notify the parents and the families as soon as we have some news for them. Thank you so much.
We greatly appreciate your understanding and patience with us. Please know at this time, we are only making a statement. We will be releasing more information as the investigation continues. We appreciate your courtesy. At this time, it concludes our press conference. Thank you.
Okay, so we're just hearing from authorities there in Uvalde. Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.